Hare We have another.
So is this the order?
Yeah.
So will it be everyone that when they come in their turn they do their recitation?
First finish recitation and then you go first. That's easy. Word for word, bro.
It's like all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to taste the it enables us to taste the nectar. Oh my Lord, your holiness alone can surrender all the things word for word. Unless you have my name, invested all your energies. You're not even hard enough to oh my Lord, I enable us to easily approach you by your name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no idea. The loyalty of the Lord should be once you have the loyalty of the Lord with a humble state of mind, thinking oneself to be the Lord. Oh my God. Offer all respect to others, it's like a state of mind, one can get the loyalty of the Lord constantly. Oh, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to relate to wealth, nor do I desire to nor do I want to be forward. I only want your cause of That's
so good. Very the mindset. Oh, nice. That is in front, so that way.
hopefully I'll be able to in my future I'll
I didn't do it. Radhya did.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna. Very good to see all of you here preparing very eagerly. The time I entered the home here, like everyone, it remembered me of my college days. Everyone sitting together, group studies चल रहा था सबके बीच में. But yeah, so nice to see all of you. We have lot of registrations today, so I'm waiting to see all the participation. I still remember the last time we had this is the 4th session we are doing like this, the Gita competition session. So we had wonderful speeches by a lot of people last time. I still recollect some of them, and the shlokas also, I keep recollecting them. So it's a wonderful opportunity for everyone that we got to learn these beautiful shlokas. Big Haribol to Shyam Prabhu and Shyama Mataji for helping us learn. Then no one will be the winners. So
legally you should also not participate.
So all of you know that we have the competition in 3 categories. For the kids, art competition is going to start after the shlokas are done for the kids here. And then for adults and kids, we have shloka competition as well as speech competition. And our judges for today are going to be Balmukund Prabhu and Manju Mataji. Haribo. I'll go over the judging criteria. So for the shlokas, we have there are 4 shlokas, and each shloka can have maximum of 5 marks. So pronunciation gets 1 mark, and melody and memorization. Melody 1 mark and memorization 1 mark, and then translation 2 marks. So you can get up to 5 marks for each shloka. And then for the speech के लिए we can have up to 10 marks. Content and relevance gets 2 marks. Structure and clarity will have 2 marks. And if you are sharing any stories or examples, that has 2 marks. And conclusion and key takeaway will have 2 marks. And time management 2 marks. We have 3-minute time limit for the shloka, for the speech. So if you go beyond 3 minutes, you will lose those 2 marks. So because we have a lot of people to participate, like we have almost 30 adults in the shloka category, and no, I mean it depends on, you don't get extra marks if you do below that 3-minute timer, but yeah.
Minimum and maximum 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll get started now because we have a lot of people to come. We'll start with the little kids shloka competition first. Okay, so for the kids below 10 years category first. Amrita? Is Amrita here? No? Mukund? Mukund is not here? Okay, once they are here, we can probably have. Janani is also not here. Then it's Gopal. You're the one who said she's like the Haribol.
Hare Krishna everyone. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagninirvapanam Shreya Kiravachandrika vitaranam Vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivartanam Pratipadam Purnamrita swadanam Sarvatnasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृश इह जानुनानुरागा त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानिना मानदेना कीर्तनीया सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कविता वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवता भक्तिर् अहैतुकी त्वयि
Great start to the program today. Really, bar is really high. So, next is Gopal is going to do the speech also right now. Mark, Prabhu is still. Shall we start, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell the speech.
If you want to chant the holy name of Krishna nicely, then you have to be humble like grass, be tolerant like tree, and give up false pride.
Thank you, Gopal. Okay, Mukund, you want to come next? Yes. Come.
Chetudarpanavajanam Pamahatavarni Nirvapanam Shreya Karva Chindrika Vicharanam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandam Paduvatanam Padiparam Purmutta Sadhanam Sarvatvasnasam Snapanam Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Nana Makari Bodona Sarashti Tachapitani Amita Smarne Makala Etadoshi Tokabagum Mamapi Durdevam Idrisham Ihajani Namuragaha Nada Pisarina, Tarora Pisashina, Amarina Mamadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadunam Najanam Nasandri Kavitam Padaki Jagadisha Kamfur Mama Jammani Shar Parthar Bhakti Ayatuki Tavir.
Good job, Mukund.
Janhavi is going to participate through online.
Janhavi has already recorded her slokas, so we are just going to play them now.
She's shy to come in front of everyone, but we have recorded her. They have recorded her video and sent.
I think volley.
Okay. Play.
Chạy câu đại phần mà cho lưng vợ mà ta mang đi ra phần xe ya kêu chân đi ca về cả năm đi ra một đường chỉ năm anand ra một đi vật năm ra đi para phuna một phuna năm saran master papa về chạy tên chỉ kêu phần đi tên năm anand khai vô đa đi sớm nhặt Shapitani Nikas Marne Kalaha Ekade Mamaki Today meditation Majadi Naduragaha Semanati Connection Karo Bali Vishmana Ramina Vani Dana Kitani Sadahari Mama Janmani, so embarrassed. Mama Janmani, Janmaneeshwari.
Jana, you want to come and say one shloka here? One. Very beautiful Mataji. I don't know how you prepare for it.
It was also very cute.
Wicked tuna. Wicked tuna. Wicked tuna.
Any head small kids who want to tell any shlokas now?
Okay, you have
Anisha?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I only practiced one shloka because I didn't have time for the others. Trinadapi sanichena tarorapi sahishunam amani nam nadena kirtaniya sada hari. So one should think itself as smaller as a straw on the street and smaller than a tree, tolerant as a tree. They should chant the holy name. The people who chant the holy name should think they're smaller than a straw on the street and tolerant like a tree. And that's how they should chant the holy name in a humble state of mind.
Okay, we'll move on to the big kids shloka category now. Anish, you want to come?
Yeah, later.
Later, okay. Arna is not here. Okay, Arush. Please come,
Okay, Mataji.
The first one is
Four parts of composition years of
Arush is going to tell the shlokas now.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavahi nirvapanam Shreyah kairavachandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam Anandambudivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpitani Amita Smaranena Kadaha Etadrishi Tava Krupa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdevam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amani Namanadena Kirtaneya Sadaharihi Nadhanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janamishware Bhavatad Bhaktirahetu Ki Tvai. And now I'll do the translations for the second, third, and fourth one. So, actually, I'll just do all of them. So the first shloka, it says, as a dust is cleansed off, and as a fire is extinguished, like the fire of conditioned life is extinguished, and as the lotus of fortune spreads like the moon, and as knowledge is essential to life, the same way the knowledge of bliss, it expands and gives sweet nectar at every step. And that's the Sri Krishna Sankirtana. And then the second shloka is, oh my Lord, you have given us so many names like Krishna and Govinda, and you have put your transcendental energies in all of these names, and you have no hard and fast rules for them. And oh my Lord, you enable us to remember you at all times, but due to my, I'm unfortunate that I cannot appreciate them. And the third shloka is, one should chant the name with a humble state of mind, being lower than grass, and one should always act more tolerant than a tree, and be devoid of all sense of false prestige. And with this mindset, one can consistently chant the holy name. And the last stanza is, I do not desire money or followers, and I only desire causeless service to you.
So the small kids who have registered for the coloring competition will start the coloring inside. You please can go there. No, below 10. Oh, but you are not.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. Mataji. Okay, by the time you can Rishik, you can come. You want to tell the shloka? Only speech, then speech is later. You can go later.
Oh, the speech, but not for
Shriyan, you want to go next? Anish, you want to go now or later? No, only between two of you are there, no one else. So,
When you ask me who is not participating, you need someone to invigilate.
okay. If any Mataji or Prabhuji are not participating in the shloka competition, can you please go and help inside with the kids' coloring competition? Okay. Okay, now Shriyan is going to tell the shlokas.
Hare Krishna, Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamahatavarginirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. The Shri Krishna Sankirtana cleanses the heart of all dust and extinguishes the fire of a repeated birth and death. By spreading transcendental knowledge, it provides the ultimate nectar which satisfies the deepest longings of humanity. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktes Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dudeva Midrishamiha Janinanuraga. The holy names like Krishna and Govinda contain the full potency of the Lord and are available to every single person without any hard and fast rules. Despite these compassionate arrangements for universal liberation, I lament my own lack of spiritual attraction to chanting these names. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. To chant the holy name of the Lord, one must cultivate a mindset of humility, viewing oneself lower than a blade of grass or a straw on the street, or remaining more tolerant than a tree. Giving up all false prestige, one should offer respect to all others and respect to all others and attain and get spiritual and attain the spiritual mercy needed for chanting these names. Na nadanam najanam na sundarim kavita vajakadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakte rahetu kitvayi. I renounce all material desires, including wealth, attraction, influence, just in the favor of spiritual service, just in the favor of spiritual service. I want to stay in the service of the Lord. I want to stay in the service of the Lord birth after birth, no matter the status of my birth.
Okay, next is Anish for the shlokas. Hare Krishna.
Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam Anandamburi vardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the translation of this is that due to the congregational chanting of Krishna's holy name, it will get rid of all the dust accumulated in our heart and set out the blazing fire of the repeated cycle of birth and death. And it also shines rays of the moon of good fortune, and it allows us to taste the nectar that we always seek. Nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smarane nakalaha itadushi tava krupa bhagavan mamapi Durdaivam edusham ihajani nanuragaha. So what this verse means is that Krishna has many holy names such as Krishna and Govinda, and he puts all his spiritual power in them, and there's no restrictions to when or whether we can pray or not. And even though he shows so much kindness to me, I feel so unfortunate that I have no attraction for the holy names. Drunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharhi. So what this verse means is that when chanting the holy name, we need to think that we're in a lower state than a blade of grass on the street, and we need to be more tolerant than a tree. And we need to have the mindset to offer respects and obeisances to others, and we have to be free of all false pride. And these qualities are what can make us chant constantly and consistently. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamare mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatad bhaktir ahai tukitvari. So what this verse means is that I have no desire for wealth, beautiful women, or followers, and all I want is your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
With this, we conclude the kids shloka category. And Anshul is not here yet, so he'll come back, and probably once he's there, we'll ask Ansh to do. But for now, big Haribol to all the kids who participated. Okay, let's now start with the adults shlokas. Haribol. Kids have given a very high standard. Hopefully, let's see how the adults are going to do now. So Shravan wants to go and start with a very high bar, I guess.
He's showing the example of how it is supposed to be.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadhu jivanam Anandambudhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam namakari bahutha nija sarva shaktis Tatrarpitani amita smaranena kala Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaivami drisham mihajaninanuragah Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna Amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi Nathanam najanam nasundarim Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye
Mama janmani janmani shware bhavatad bhaktirahaytuki tvayi. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction name. It is the light of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules to chant these names. O my Lord, you're out of your kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
Word by word, everything.
I think one word missed. Da, you missed.
What?
He's not a He's big kid. No, he's a big kid. You're a big kid. He's a kid. Otherwise, he's not a dad. We'll get exceptional prize. Shravan Balaji, 5th place. Okay, now Vivek Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagnirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdevam Vidrisam Mihajani Nanu Nanagraha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadhanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadish Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetuki Tvai. Okay, so for the first verse, what the verse means is that the Sankirtana movement basically has the 7 perfections which it benedicts to us. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, essentially it cleanses all the dust we have accumulated because of the material desires. Then the Sankirtana movement basically allows us to resolve or extinguish the fire which the material world has created in our existence, in our soul. It gives us it spreads the rays like a moon, giving us all the good fortune. We can taste Purnamrita Swadanam. Basically, we get the perpetual taste of the nectar from the holy name, and basically we get from all these things, all these perfections from the Sankirtana movement. Nam Namakari Bahuda. The Lord has so many names, countless names like Govinda, Krishna, Murari, Keshava. But even though they are so nectarian, so beautiful, but we still don't have the taste for it. He has made it so easy for us to approach it, but we are so unfortunate because of our ignorance that we cannot approach it. Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarodapi Sahishnana. Basically, we should be humble as a blade of grass, and then we should be tolerant as a tree. We should not have any false ego, and then only in that mood we can chant the name of holy name. And then Nathanam Jananam. I don't want any glories. I don't want any followers. I don't want any money. I don't want any beautiful men or women for myself. I only want causeless devotional service for you, Lord, birth after birth, irrespective of my state. Hare Krishna.
Next is Sakshi Mataji. It was very Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bahuna Cheto Darpana Marjana Bhava Mahadavagani Nirvapanam Shreya Kerava Chandrika Pratipadam Parvitaram Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Punya Amrita Aspadan Punya Atma Snapanam Sarva Atma Snapanam Param Vijyate Shri Sankirta Shri Krishna Sankirtana. So basically it means let there be always victory for the congregational chanting of the Shri Krishna movement, which cleanses the heart of the mirror of the heart of the devotees and extinguishes the blazing fire of this material existence. This movement is like a waxing moon which spreads the good fortune in the lives of all the living beings, and it is the life and the soul of the education. It gives the transcendental, it expands the transcendental, the bliss of the transcendental ocean in the lives of the people who constantly chants. Now, the second one is Nam Namakari Bahudha Nisha Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Itadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdevam Irdisham Ye Jnani Nanuraga. So what does it mean is, O Lord, O Krishna, you have given us so many names like Krishna, Govinda, Murari, and have manifested your powers into them. Your name you have manifested your personal qualities, and there is no hard and fast rule to remember your name. But I am so unfortunate that I commit mistakes in chanting your name, and therefore I have never developed a taste for it. The next one is Pranadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Nuna Armani Mamanani Kirtana Sadahari. So it means one who is more humble than a blade of a grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who is not puffed up with false ego, and who always give respect to others. Such a person can very easily and always chant the Lord of Hari, Shri Krishna. The last one. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitahe, va jagat ish kamane, mama janmani janam ishvare,
Bhavatad bhaktir ahituki tvai. So it means, oh my Lord, I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, and neither handsome man or beautiful woman. And neither the fruitive works of this in the flowery language. All I want from you is life after life. Just give me unmotivated devotional service onto your feet. Hare Krishna. Next is Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Cheto darpanamabjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam sreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivartanam pratipadam punamruta swadanam sarvatma swapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Namnamakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Nimitaha Smarane Nakalaha Etadrushi Tava Krupa Bhagavan Mamapi Duddaiva Mitrisham Iha Janani Ragaha Tunadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Nathanam Najanam Nasundari Kavitam Va Jagatisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatad Bhakti Rahai Tuki First verse is all about glories of congregational chanting that basically clears out all the dust accumulated over our heart and also breaks the cycle of birth and death. So it is the greatest gift to the mankind, and that basically spreads the rays of moon of knowledge, and that is the greatest transcendental knowledge with which we can chant the kirtanam. Second verse is about Lord's name, like Krishna, Govinda. So Lord has so many names, and basically He's so kind and allows us to chant in any state of mind, and basically He's always available for us. And unfortunately, I do not have the taste to approach Him. Third verse is all about how our state of mind should be when we are chanting, right? So it is basically we should be very humble while we are chanting, and basically like feel like a straw on the street. And also we should be more tolerant like a tree, and basically avoid of all false ego. As we chant more, basically, we should be more humble, and basically we should more respect to others. And in this state of mind, we have to do our chanting. Last verse is all about basically, what we want. So I don't want money or fame or followers or beautiful women. It's all about doing causeless devotional service to the God, to the Lord Krishna, birth after birth.
Next is Deepali Mataji.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shriyakerav chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नाम कारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्र अर्पिता नियमिता स्मरेण कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशम् इहाजनीनानुराग प्रणोदपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानिना कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न जनं न धनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वजगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहेतु की त्वयि.
Next is Meena Mataji.
Translation.
No. It's so difficult standing there.
Hare Krishna. Chito darpan marjanam bhavmahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyakerav chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purna amrita swadanam Sarvatma Sanpanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam Nam namakari bahuda Nij sarva saktes Tatra pita niyamita Smarne nakala Etadrishi tav kripa Bhagavan mamapi Durdevam idrisham ihajani Nanurag Trinadapi sunichena Tarorapi seishunana Amani namanadena Kirtanya sadahari Na dhanam na janam na sundaram Kavitam va jagadish kamaye Mam janmani janmanishware Bhagavad bhakti ratu ki twahi.
Next is Anshika Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I have only prepared third and fourth words, so I'll do that. The third one is about the mood is how should one chant the holy name of God. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishuna amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. So it says that one should chant the holy name of Lord in a humble state of mind, considering oneself as lower than the blade of grass or straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, and devoid of all the false prestige, and be ready to offer all respects to the other. That is how, once in that state, one can chant the holy name of Lord constantly. The fourth verse, the mood is how can one, like about devotional service. So it goes, na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam vajagdish kamaye mama janmani janmanishware Bhavatad bhakti rahetu ki twai. O Almighty Lord, I do not desire any accumulated wealth, nor do I desire any beautiful women, nor do I desire any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
is Venu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Everybody well prepared, but sorry I did not prepare, but yeah, whatever I remember I can just recite a couple of verses. चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुदिवितरणं वर्धनं पतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं पदं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम. This means with the chanting of the holy name, we can clear the dust on the mirror of our mind, which is accumulated by our desires and false prestige, false ego, and our stress, everything. So we can clean that off dust with the holy name, chanting the holy name. Also, life is like a forest fire which is uncontrollable, so that we can put off with the chanting the holy name daily, at least for few minutes, few rounds, at least 16 rounds is prescribed, but few rounds. And with that, Anandambudhi Vardhana. So we can increase the joy and enjoy the spiritual bliss by chanting the holy name. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna amani mananena amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. So be humble and while chanting the holy name, like a blade of grass on the street, and be humble like a tree. So that is the meaning of this. So yeah.
Next is Sandhya Mataji here. Srija Mataji.
Hare Krishna everyone. Shetodarpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadho Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrutaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिः तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिह जनिनानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि.
Next is Prashant. Everyone wants to go faster.
Srija Mataji is not here, right?
Srija Mataji is the one who is Sandhya Mataji was not there.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Om चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इह जनीनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः न जनं न धनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि. Translation. The first verse talks about the power of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The translation goes, chanting Mahamantra cleanses the hearts of accumulated dust and it extinguishes the fire of material sufferings. And it is the life force of all the knowledge. And it is the ever-growing bliss. And the second verse shows about different names of like God and His mercy. God has invested all His importance, all His powers into His names like Krishna, like Govinda, and there is no hard and fast rules to chant them. Despite this, however, Sri Lord Chaitanya Prabhu laments that despite His mercy, we have little and no interest on His names. The third verse describes about the qualities required for an effective chanting. The one should be more humble than a blade of a grass, more tolerant than a tree, and they are ready to offer respect to everyone without expecting anything in the return. And the final verse shows the desires of the pure devotees. The devotees chant not for wealth, not for the followers, not even for getting liberation from this repeated cycle of birth and death. The only desire they have is unallied, causeless, devotional service, life after life. Hare Krishna.
Next is Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्तपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णा संकीर्तनम् नाम्नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहाजने नानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिर्हेतुकी त्वयि. I will will just go for third sloka explanation. Assuming ourselves smaller than a blade of grass, tolerant than a tree, devoid of false ego and respecting others, we should chant Sri Hare Krishna.
Next, Madhavilata Mataji is not here. So, Balaji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Chetodarpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this verse purport is glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated all these years. We have been in contact with the material world. Thus, the blazing fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death is thus extinguished. Also, Sri Krishna Sankirtan is the prime benediction for the humanity at large because it extinguishes the conditional life and also it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. And it is also the life of transcendental knowledge and it increases the ocean of the transcendental bliss. And at the same time, it enables us to have the full taste of the nectar for which we are always curious. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamidha Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Krupa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrusham Mihajani Nanuragaha. O my Lord, your name alone is enough to render benediction upon all living entities. Therefore, you have like millions of names such as Krishna, Govinda, Mukunda, Gopal that we all chant. And you have invested all your transcendental energies in all these names. And also there is no like hard and fast rule to chant these names. And as you are so kind, you have made it easier for us to approach you by chanting these holy names. But as unfortunate as we are, we do not have attraction to them. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. So in this verse it says like we can chant the holy name of the God in a humble state of mind. We should treat ourselves lower than the straw in the street and more tolerant than a tree which never hits back to us, and also like giving respect to others all the time, and also not having any sense of false prestige or the false ego. So in this humble state of mind, we can always chant the holy name constantly. The last one. Nudanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahaitu kitvai. O my Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate any wealth, nor do I desire any beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
Next is Sumit Prabhu.
Hare
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनम् श्रेयकैरव चन्द्रिकावितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नापनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नाम नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तथापिता नियमितः स्मरणे नानुकाला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृष्टं हि जानी अनुरागा तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरुरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना महन्तेन श्रीकृष्ण सदा हरि कीर्तन्य सदा हरि न जनं न सनं न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मति ईश्वरे भगवद् भक्ति हेतुकी त्वयि। It says, first verse says that respect to the Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya movement, which can cleanse the heart from of our material desires, which we have accumulated life after life, and we are suffering from birth and death constantly. And chanting the holy names constantly can give us can give us an experience of the transcendental bliss, which we have been anxiously waiting life after life. Second is, it says about God has given all the potencies in His name, and we are so fallen that even after hearing all this, we don't have any taste, or I don't have any taste in chanting the holy names. Third says, when chanting the holy name, we should be humble we should be in a humble mood, in a sense that we should feel lower than a blade of grass, tolerant as a tree, as well as we should give up all the false pride, as well as give respect to all others. In this state of mind, one can chant constantly the holy name. Fourth verse says, I don't want any wealth, any followers or beautiful wife. The only thing I want, Lord, is your life after life, constant devotional service, unmotivated devotional service.
Anshu will go for the shloka.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्र अर्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशमिहाजनि नानुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानीनामानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि.
Okay, next is Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna to everybody.
चेतोदर्पणं मार्जनं भवमहादावग्नि निर्वापणं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णमृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नापनं परं विज्यते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवनं मापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहाजनि नानुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिनामानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहेतु त्वयि.
I'm not explaining anything or reading out anything. After finding out about the Chaitanya Shiksha Ashtakam, it means the education of, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his picture is over there. Some of the people I don't think even know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, right? And 500 years ago, he started this Sankirtan movement, but he came as an incarnation, that's what we believe. And he is Krishna and Radha's incarnation together, okay? And at the time, 500 years ago, when he started this movement, there was a lot of happening in West Bengal 500 years ago, especially with the Muslim invaders and things like that. And at that moment, when people were being forced to convert, he stood by what he felt was right. So we are all here today and we are chanting this beautiful verses, his education that he has imparted to us, and of course chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hari Bol!
Next, Raviteja Prabhu will go. His name is in the last 23rd row.
Hare Krishna to everyone. Chetodarpanamajanam bhavamahadavagnirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamruta Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktistatrarpita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha Itadrishi Tava Krupa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisham Iha Chaninanuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahare Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Radhe Tukitui. The meaning of the first shloka is it is with respect to the glory of Sankirtanam. So the glory of Sankirtanam is such a way that it eliminates the dust which got accumulated for so many years. It also enables us to extinguish the fire which has been created by this materialistic world, materialistic activities which have been grown over the period of time. This allows us to gain the transcendental knowledge. It also allows us or enables us for the transcendental bliss of an ocean, and at last it allows us to taste the nectar. The second kirtana or second shloka is with respect to the glory of glory and the names of the God. So there are so many names of the God, something like Krishna, Govinda, and it is our fortunate that he enabled all his transcendental energy into these names. But it is too, and moreover, there are no hard and fast rules to chant these names. Neither there are no hard and fast rules, or there are no time even. There is no restriction on the time too. But it is so unfortunate that we don't have any attraction towards by chanting these names. Third shloka is that it guides the how like one devotee should be. So it tells that the third kirtana tells that so one devotee should, while chanting, or the one devotee should behave in such a way that that he should allow, or he should assume himself as low as a small blade of a grass, and he should also ensure that he is so tolerant as a tree. He should be as tolerant as a tree. So in this way, in this state of mind, so one should be consistently power himself to chant. And the fourth shloka is with respect to the characteristic of the devotee, that we, oh Lord, I don't have any, I don't want any wealth, I don't want any, I don't want any followers, and I have no attraction towards a beautiful woman or man. I just need the few devotional, unconditional presence or chanting towards you.
Next is Satya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna everyone. God, it's scary. So I started the joke. When I was reading the first verse, the third line, Purnamrita Swadhana, in my hometown, Purna means Purnalu, the sweet. I thought, yeah, I can enjoy the Purna Amrutam like that. And Mataji also sold Purnalu in one of the festival, I forgot. Yeah. For $5 she gave more. Thank you, Mataji.
No influence. No influence.
It's just that Purnalu was tasty. Yes. Yeah. Okay, jokes apart, back. Hare Krishna. No, Mataji, please ignore that. It's for myself. We are also sick. After telling that joke. Chetodapanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamruta Swadanam Sarvatma Swapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmarishwari Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaitu Ki Tvai. The translation, the first one. Glory to Sri Krishna Sankirtana movement. It helps us clean the heart of the dust accumulated over the life and many years, and it extinguishes the fire of the conditioned life, which in the material world we got birth after birth, and it gives us the ocean of the transcendental knowledge, and as the Purnal, it gives us the complete transcendental experience. It is, as the moon rays are pleasant, it gives us the benediction for the total humanity. The second one, Bhagavan has invested his potency, his power in the name, and there are a lot of names like Krishna, Govinda, Murari, and there are no, and he also did not put any restrictions on chanting, but I'm so unfortunate that even though there are a lot of easy rules, I have no anuragaha, I have no apyayata, whatever that, yeah, attraction. I have no attraction to the holy name. Trinadapi, this is like the state of the mind. I should chant continuously, constantly with this kind of state of mind, where I should be thinking that I am lower than the humble, like the blade of grass, and I should be tolerant as the tree, and I should be devoid of false prestige and respectful to others. In this state of mind, I should continue chanting. The fourth one, oh Bhagavan, I have no desire for wealth, followers, no Instagram, no WhatsApp, yes, and no desire for beautiful women, and life after life, I have only one prarthana, where I should have the spiritual connection or the costless devotional service to you. Hare Krishna.
Mohit Prabhu is here?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, we'll do him.
I'll ask him to come later. And then, now Deepika Mataji.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृश इह जानिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीनामानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतार भक्तिरहितुकी त्वयि. The translation of first verse is to the glory of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, which cleanses our hearts and removes the impurity within us which gathers over the time. It also extinguishes the material suffering from a life which included the life cycles of a birth and death, and also it brings blessings to everyone, which awakens the true spiritual knowledge, increases the divine happiness, and also gives us the hopes to taste the nectar of a spiritual life. The second verse, Namanam Akari Bahuda, that means, O Lord, you have the holy names such as Krishna and Govinda. You have all the powers to bless to all the human beings. You have placed all your divine energy within all these many names, and also by making it for us to connect with you. There is no strict rule or no timings to chant for the holy name of the Lord. You can okay. The meaning of the third translation of a third verse. One should be chant with the holy name of Lord with a humble state of mind, and also by thinking ourselves lower than the blade of a grass. And one should also be more tolerant than a tree. They have to respect. They should be ready to always respect others. And you can. In the humble state of mind and with all due respectful mood, you can chant the name of the Hari. The fourth verse, the meaning of the fourth verse is that I do not have, oh my Almighty Lord, I do not have desire to any material life such as beauty, fame or money, nor do I desire for any beautiful women or many followers. My wish is just to serve you with a sincere devotion, birth after birth, without expecting anything in return.
Next is Anu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्नि निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं
विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृता स्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दूरदैवम् ईदृशम् इह जनीनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरुरपि सहिष्णुना आमानीनामानदेन कीर्तनया सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिर् इहातु की त्वयि. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who gave these beautiful 8 verses to us. He in a way distilled all the spiritual knowledge that is there to be known. And he sort of quoted his reflections and his feelings through that. So in the first verse, he's actually glorifying the Sankirtan movement. He says that all glories to the Sankirtana movement that actually removes the dust from our hearts, of the mirror of our hearts that have been accumulated birth after birth, that extinguishes the blazing fire that has been there for the longing of the material life, of like the longing we have or the conditioning we have birth after birth. And then he goes on to explain that how it helps spread the rays of benediction moon. It increases our knowledge and the transcendental bliss, which at every step gives us the immense joy that can be experienced. Then in the next verse, once he has explained what the Sankirtana movement is, he goes on to explain who can do that and why it works. So he explains that, oh dear Lord, you are so merciful that you have given us such an easy way to recite your names, which you have inspired with all the powers that there are. You haven't set any rules for when your name should be chanted, who can chant it. You've enabled that for everyone. So yeah, with this bhav, he's just telling everyone that if anyone can chant his name, and the powers are there in the names like Govinda, Krishna, and so many other names. In the third verse, now he's moving on to after sharing who can chant it and in which way and why it works. He goes on to say that what should be your bhav or the mood when you're chanting. So he says that you should feel lower than a blade of a grass that bends whenever anyone steps on it. You should feel more tolerant than a tree, which even the person who cuts it, that tree still provides shade to and rest to that person. So you should be in that mood, and in that mood you should constantly chant the name of the Lord. And then he also goes on to say that you should always, of course, put away all your false ego and all the false identities you have or the respect that you think you should get, but instead you should go and respect everyone with your full heart. And then finally he goes on to share the state that he feels after that, which is that I do not want any money, I do not want any influence in terms of followers, I do not want any beautiful partner, but what I want, Lord, is just your unconditional service, causeless service, birth after birth. That is all that I long for. So yeah, Hare Krishna.
Monica Mataji. Not even one?
I just do one verse?
Yes. No, four.
Lata Mataji is providing all the motivation required.
Hare Krishna. Cheto darpan marjanam bhav mahadavadni nirvapanam shreya kairav chandrika vitranam vidyavadu jivanam anandagam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam punarita swadhanam sarvatma Sanatnam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Chakri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Cheto darpanamarchanam bhavadhavagni nirvapanam shreyas kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandambudivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayati Shri Krishna Sankirtanam nam akari bahuda Nicha Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajanina Anuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Najanam Nathanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitamba Bhagavan Kavitamba Jagadisha Kamaya Mama Janmani Shvare Bhavatat Bhakti Ahaituki Tvai. The translation, this is my understanding. The very first verse talks about the glories of Sri Krishna Sankirtana. When someone chants the names of the Bhagavan, it cleanses and clears the dust that we have accumulated so that we can see ourselves and we can see the purpose of our life very clearly as if we see ourselves in the mirror. That's first one. Second one is it diffuses or it extinguishes the wild fire in us which is burning in terms of our desires, anxiety, so on and so forth that we have in us. Once we follow or we start chanting Sri Krishna Sankirtanam or chanting the names of the Bhagavan, what happens is it spreads the coolness that we can feel on a full moon day. It calms our mind, it calms our stature, and every step of the way thereafter, one can see that the Anandambudhi, which means that the joy will spread as the ocean expands, just like the ocean expands. And then Purnamrita Swadanam, then we can enjoy, relish the actual purpose of us in this life. Okay, and the second one talks about the fallen souls and the formula that is given for the fallen souls like us. It says that there are multiple names given to the Lord, like Rama, Krishna, Hari, Govinda, and all. One can chant the names of the Lord because in each of these names there is a transcendental energy that the Lord has bestowed. It also talks about how fallen we are, that we have no desire to chant the names of the Lord, even though we have a formula for success. Okay. The third one is the mood in which we should chant the name of the Lord. We should be humble than the blade of a grass or a straw fallen on a street, or you should be humble just like a trunk of a tree, and you should be devoid of all of the false egos and be respectful to other Vaishnavas. That's the mood in which we need to chant. And the fourth one is about what one should desire in one's life. One should desire not to have money, fame, or followers, or for that matter, any beautiful men or women. Okay, all you desire is baseless. Basically, you desire for the love of the Lord through your chanting, life after life. Thank you.
Mohit Prabhu? Kanchan Mataji? Hare Krishna. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वाधनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनं नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिताः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशं मिहाजनी नानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेनातरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीनमानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां व जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनीश्वरे भवतद्भक्तिर्हैतुकी त्वयि. Translation of the first verse is, with the glory of Sankirtan movement, we have accumulated loads of dust on our heart. So this movement actually cleanses that dust and blazes and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life, of repeated birth and death. And also this movement spreads the rays of the benediction moon and give us the good fortune. That's one. And then the second one is the knowledge, transcendental knowledge in the form of blissful ocean. And then finally allows us to taste the nectar that we have been longing for. So that's first one. And then the second verse goes like, oh my Lord, you have hundreds and millions of names. For example, Krishna and Govinda. And you have made a very easy way for our devotees like us to reach out to you just by chanting your holy names. And there are no hard and fast rules of chanting these names. So all I need is to chant these names to get to you in a humble state of mind. And that's the next verse, like Prabhu was saying, which is the state and bhava which we have to chant in, wherein you have to be as humble as a straw in the street, and as tolerant as a tree, a trunk of a tree, wherein you remove all the false ego and desires, and in such humble state of mind, and also, respect the other devotees amongst you, and that's how, in that humble state of mind, you reach. You'll be able to chant the holy name of the Lord. And the last verse goes by, I don't desire for any wealth, nor do I desire for handsome men and beautiful women in my life, nor any followers, like Prabhu was saying, Instagram. All I desire is causeless devotional service for you. Thank you.
Next is Bhavani Prabhu.
I'm just going to read like you. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयाकैरव चन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुदिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृता आस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नापनं परम विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम नाम नाम अकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणे न कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह जनी नानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरुरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीना मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिर् अवैतुकी त्वयि.
Anyone else who wants to go?
Sarita Mataji. Abhiram.
Mataji, Sarita. Okay, we are done with the registrations we got, but if anyone wants to go, we can sign up. Yeah, that's fine. Right, his name is not in the list, but just right. Can you tell the name? Abhiram.
चैतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदां पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् तिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमनीना मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितार्वजगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिर् अहैतुकी त्वयि.
Next is Bhagyashri Mataji. She's not in the list. Please write her name.
I learned this shloka from a Gopal actually. Sorry if I'm doing something wrong. Tarunadapi sunicena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina namanadena kirtaniyah sada harihi nadhanam najanam sundarim kavitam va jagadish kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir hetu ki tvai. So the first shloka is quality of we require to effectively chant. We should always be humble and just like the blade of grass, and tolerant as the trunk of a tree, and chant very humbly and be very respectful to each other. The second verse is shows the character of the devotee. It says like, I don't want any wealth or anything in my life, nor the beautiful women or men or anything. I just want Sri Krishna to be kind to me and keep my devotion towards him. So, thank you.
Next is Sarita Mataji.
Yeah, I'll just follow Lata Mataji.
Lata Mataji is not a follower.
Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmaneshwari bhavata bhakti ahetu kitame. Yeah, in this, like, yeah, oh Lord, like, I have no desire of any wealth, any followers, and not to be a beautiful woman or a man. I just want to follow you, like chanting you always, and have a more spiritual way towards you, birth after birth.
Yeah. Anyone else who wants to chant verse, tell any shlokas, no? Or Prabhu? He wants to. Prabhu, you can tell even one shloka.
He wants to follow the footsteps of the. I'm sure you will go better than me.
No.
अच्छा एक मिनट
Okay, we'll pass on the mic. Everyone wants to hear your shlokas. Just pass the mic.
Will you pass the mic on?
Only the last mic.
न धनम न जनम न सुंदरीम कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भक्तात् भक्त हेतु की त्वयि.
Big Haribol to all the participants. Haribol! There was really a tough competition. I'm sure the judges will have hard time to decide.
Very difficult.
Balaji has some.
He wants to say one verse.
Vadia doesn't want to come. I asked her.
Okay, Ani wants to tell? Okay. We'll do the speech.
Anasha.
Okay, quiet. Ani, you want to come here?
Oh,
Can you tell the name? Tell your name. Anirudh. It's a speech? No, Shloka.
Your name?
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहानिर्दावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनां प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नानामाकारि बहुधा निजः सर्वशक्तिः ततर्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कलह एतदृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह जनीन्ननुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमनीन मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरिः न
We will do a quick stretching, Gauranga Nityananda. Oh, Arav wants to go?
Yeah, Arav wants to go. Go. You said you know all the
speech. Yes, we know the start of speeches. Just take
read off. Just read off the thing. Read it off.
Left side Nityananda, right side Gauranga. Left, right. Nityananda.
We were planning to finish the whole competition by 7:30. I have only done with the slokas now.
There are people watching
this small water break or something because we have a long way to go still.
But you did history. I just did it for fun, bro. Not the main character. How do you not? Bro, actually, I'm not the main character. He's right behind you. You knew that, bro. I did not.
Bro, actually, there are actually people watching this.
Huh? Dude, who's genuinely trying to watch this, bro?
I don't know.
My dad. Oh, what? He watches all of them. Yeah. What? Any Krishna Bhakt who doesn't attend this, like in India, but who wants to do this, it's chill, Krishna, now worship. Oh, hi.
I wonder how many votes I got.
Krishna, oh yeah, look at it, it's from the camera. Oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah. Guys, stop.
You're not the main character though. Hare Krishna. Let's all sit down. You can settle down.
Settle down. Hare Krishna, everybody. Please settle down. We are now doing the speech. Stop. Don't be a baby. Yes, Papa. Get
Okay, we are going to start with the speech competition. First with the kids. We have lot of kids also signed up for speech this time. So I'm very excited to hear all the speeches.
Lot of kids. Oh, there are too many kids, maybe 5, 6, 7,
Okay, and
6, 7.
the speech again, I am going to tell that there is a 3-minute time restriction on the speech. Since we are already running late, I think we need to keep that in mind and just stop at 3 minutes. And also, we are going to lose marks, 2 marks if you are not doing it in time, if you are not ending it on time. So, especially for adults, I want to remind that part again because. I'm also going to give me a look at after 2.5 minutes. I'll just give a small ring here so that you'll be able to understand that you are running towards the time. And after 3 minutes, I'll start continuously ringing it like this. So you need to stop it at that point. Even if you're in the middle of, just try to complete your point and complete it soon.
I heard can you sing? Yeah, that's exactly it. The right of the channel. What's that? That's actually a good one. Wait, is this okay? Okay, he's letting me speak too, so we're not the only ones doing it. Yeah, I'm winging it. I'm not prepared, but I'm still gonna go. Me too, I'm winging it, bro. I'm not prepared, but I'm still gonna go. I'm not excited. I'm not excited. There's literally only 2 of us.
Okay.
I'm a really good presenter.
Okay, let's start. Go. Rishik, you want to go for the speech?
Where's Arnold?
Okay, Prab.
Oh yeah.
We are starting the speech competition now. Rishik is going to start with it.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Today I'm going to explain the right way to chant the holy names of Hare Krishna in these first verses. The first one is be more humble than grass. Explanation is think yourself less than grass. Don't feel bad when someone criticizes or insults you. Another way I can explain this is grass doesn't say how dare you step on me or throw me here and there. The second verse is be more tolerant than a tree. Learn to tolerate difficult life situations and be kind even to people trying to harm you. 3. No false ego. We all want to be the best at everything, but if someone else wins, don't feel bad or jealous. The fourth verse is respect everyone. Treat everyone like they are a VIP because Krishna is in their heart. It's easy to respect your parents and teachers, but can you respect someone who is mean to you? Hare Krishna.
Arna is not. Anika?
No, I'm here. Anya.
Okay, you're good. Anika.
Can she go first? Can I go after her?
Oh, you're Arna? Her name is Arna?
Anya.
Yeah, it's all together, older and you don't want to go right now?
No, I'm not ready yet.
Okay, you want to go later?
Yeah.
Anish? No.
Are you even She is ready.
Oh, you are ready?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even make it. I forgot it existed. Anya. Stay number 8. Okay, meanwhile, you just have to listen to the. Okay, you can start.
Once upon a time, there was a fruit seller named Nandaraj. He was selling mangoes. So Krishna didn't have any money. So he ran inside his house, and then he found grains. So instead of grains, he tried to give grains for the mangoes. Those days there was no money in change. People who had exchange had to exchange other stuff instead of money. 2 hands little of grain. Do you think they took grains for the mangoes?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, next is Anaisha. Okay, for the judging. Okay, for the judging the speech, the criteria is we have 2 points for content and relevance. So I hope everyone knows the topic for the speech today. It's you can talk about any of these 4 verses or of the Sikshastakam, and 2 points for the structure and clarity, and 2 points for examples or stories that you might want to share on this topic, and 2 points for conclusion and takeaway, and 2 points for time management. So overall 10 points for the speech for each person. So not for you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. As everyone knows, today's topic is how to chant the holy name, the right way. So I'm going to talk about the third verse. So there it says that how to chant the right way is you have to be less than a straw on the street, and you have to be like, I think the word means gentle, like a tolerant, like a tree. So that means like you have to be strong. So to chant the right way, you have to be tolerant like a tree and gentle like a straw on the street. And like grass, you can't say like as Rishik said, you don't dare to pull me here and there. And so like people kick the tree, people hit the tree, people do lots of things with trees and grass, and they step on things. So it's not that they say, hey, you're stepping on me, or hey, you're throwing me, or hey, you're kicking me. And even for the tree, I think it's most important because it gives you fruit, and then if you kick it or wiggle it like Krishna and his friends did, it doesn't say, hey, don't wiggle me, just pick the fruit nicely.
Next is Arav.
Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 1486 to 1535, is the most recent incarnation of Godhead Sri Krishna. He appeared 500 years ago in Navadvip, West Bengal, and started his worldwide Sankirtan mission of propagating the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The process of self-realization for this is to meditate upon the sound of the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He left us 8 verses called the Sikshastakam, in which his missions and precepts are revealed. Here's what the 4 verses talk about. Verse 1 says that chanting the God's holy name, like Hare Krishna, is the most recent and is the most wonderful thing in the world. It cleans our hearts and brings happiness and peace everywhere, like a refreshing rain on a hot day. Verse 2 is humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that God has put so much power in his name, but I am so unlucky that I don't feel drawn to chanting. He is telling us we should never be proud. We should always think we can do better. Verse 3 tells us how to chant properly. We should be humbler than a blade of grass, more patient than a tree. We should always be respectful to others and never expect praise for ourselves. Verse 4 is a prayer. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I don't want money, fame, or followers. All I want is pure love for God, life after life. Hare Krishna.
Summarized it very well. Okay, next is Shriyan.
The 3rd verse of the Sikshastakam talks about being humble and being tolerant. Let's look at a story to help us better understand this. Ambarish Maharaj was fasting for a whole year when Durvasa Muni came to his house. Durvasa Muni is known for his angry temper and as soon as a guest comes to your house, it's a code, it's a conduct, it's proper conduct to give them food. And that's what Ambarish Maharaj did. But first, Durvasa Muni had to go and take a bath. And you were not supposed to eat before the guest ate. But it was nearing the time of Ambarish Maharaj's fast break. So he thought, I can't eat, and if I eat, then Durvasa Muni is going to get angry. But if I don't eat, then I'm not going to not break my fast. So he drank water. Durvasa Muni, through his mystical prowess, he learned of this, and he created a demon out of fire, and he sent it at Ambarish Maharaj out of his anger. Ambarish Maharaj just prayed to Lord Krishna, and immediately Lord Krishna vanquished that demon and sent his Sudarshan Chakra at Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni went to every single person, even Vishnu himself. But Vishnu said, "Oh Durvasa Muni, I can't stop my Sudarshan Chakra, even though it's my own. It is I sent it for the protection of Ambarish Maharaj, and you should ask him." So he went there. He went to Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj was so tolerant that even though Durvasa Muni literally tried to kill him, he immediately forgave him and sent the Sudarshan Chakra back. Durvasa Muni was also humble enough to ask Ambarish Maharaj to stop the Sudarshan Chakra, but more importantly, Ambarish Maharaj was more humble to leave his false ego and everything that he thought great about himself and forgive Durvasa Muni. Hare Krishna. So basically, we should always in our life we should try to be humble and tolerant to others, whatever they may throw at us, like a tree and the blade of grass. So thank you, Hare Krishna.
we are done with all the kids, right? Anyone wants to go? Still?
Yeah.
Oh, Anish? Anish is going?
Me and him didn't go.
You want to go last, right?
I can go second.
Okay.
No. I'm not going to go right now.
Yeah, Abhi, please write it.
Hare Krishna. So the third verse tells you how you should be more tolerant than a straw in the street or even a blade of grass, and be as tolerant as a tree. And I don't have an example, but one way to see this is a blade of grass is like very humble and tolerant, as it's always standing upright. But whenever we come and step on it, it always goes down, and it always comes back up, and it's always humble, and it never like says anything. Similarly, we should be as tolerant as a tree. A tree, no matter what we do, we can do whatever we want. People cut them down, we take fruits, we take leaves, we take shelter, but it never asks anything in return. So while we're chanting, we should always be as humble and as tolerant as a tree and a blade of grass, and as humble as a blade of grass. In the fourth verse, it says, I don't want anything, and I chant, and I want your devotion and your love and birth after birth. And what this is saying is, while you're being humble and while you're as tolerant as a tree, you should be chanting not just for the sake of chanting, but for the sake of devotion and praying to the Lord for His love and for His devotion, birth after birth, and ultimately go to Him, go to the Supreme Godhead, and never have to come back and face karma in this, never come back to the mortal world again. Thank you.
Should I go?
Yeah, go. Yeah. Anika?
Okay, so it's from the third verse. That's tolerance and humbleness. And then I'm going to talk about the story of Kalia. So once upon a time, there was a riverbank called Yamuna, and then when hundreds of snakes poisoned the river, and there was kids playing with the ball nearby the river, and Krishna was one of the kids, and while they were playing with the ball, it fell into the riverbank Yamuna, and then Krishna went out to get the ball, so he went in, and out of one of those snakes, Kalia was one of those snakes, and then he asked Kalia, can you stop poisoning the river so I can get the ball? And Kalia says not to stop poisoning the river, so they don't stop poisoning the river, and then Krishna and Kalia get into a fight, and they fight, and then Krishna wins the battle. So he dances on top of Kalia's head to calm him down and tells him that don't come back here again. So Kalia leaves and he doesn't come back forever. So the moral of the story is be strong and tolerant like Krishna for community.
I can see everyone, all the kids' favorite shloka is the third one. It connects to them very well, right? That's the reason I guess. Very nice. Any other kid? Anish, you want to go? No? Okay, so we are done with the kids' speech. Now moving on to the adults. The first one is Anu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So let's take this a bit technically. A lot of us work in IT, have IT background to understand it, right? So answer one thing. When we have to go today from one place to another, right? How do we go? Like car or like if you have to go to an unknown place, what do you do on your phone?
GPS.
Google Maps, right? When were they invented? Like 15 years ago? And do you think without Google Maps, also in the previous life, without Google Maps, people used to go from one place to another? Yeah. So there was always places to go, but maps made it easier. It made it accessible. 500 years ago, an incarnation of Lord Chaitanya did the same for us. It was not Google Maps, but it was Gokula Maps. What he did was he actually imprinted the blueprint of how you can get to the higher destination, to Goloka. That's what he made. That's what he did. It's not that previously people did not go there, but he made it accessible to each one of us. Now, let's talk about a few things that he said, right? So, imagine you're starting your car and going somewhere. Can you go anywhere without an unclean mirror when you're not seeing?
No.
No. The first thing you need to do is clean your mirror. That's what the first verse tells us. The heart, like how the Kirtan cleans the mirror of your heart, and you can go forward. The best example for this is Valmiki, right? He could not chant the name of Prabhu. He could not say Ram. He had to say Mara, 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 and then eventually he did. All his past sins were gone. So that's how the dust on the heart gets cleansed. Then let's talk about the second thing. Who can use Google Maps or Gokula Maps? Everyone can. That's what Prabhu says in second one. Anyone can chant the name of the Lord. No restriction. The best example is Ajamila. He was the most sinful person, did all the wrong things, but just in the end when Yamadutas came to take him to hell, just because his youngest son's name was Narayana, he just called out, not because of Lord's longing, just because of fear. Narayana! And then Yamadutas was stopped. Lord Vishnu's Duta came and saved him. So, not qualified, but he could use that app, right? Now the third thing. So, everyone has cars, right? But which car do you think is best to go to a destination? We all have cars like Teslas and stuff, right? They are cars, amazing cars, but they are the cars with flat tires. They won't take you anywhere. The right car is the car of humility and humbleness. Look at Lord Hanuman. Who can be more humble than him? And the final thing is, yes, where are we all going? So I think that's the destination on your maps. I'm reminded by Kunti Devi, who in her prayers said that, hey Krishna, I do not want glories, I do not want kingdom, anything. I just want more calamities, more problems, because when they come, you come. So yeah, that's the destination.
So it's clear that in the shloka, whoever came first, and in the speech also similar thing. Now, Balaji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I didn't prepare any elaborate speech, but
let's see. Short, concise.
Yeah. Okay, maybe just take an example like the concept or the metaphor, right? Like, start with a story of a bird that was captured by some person. So he puts the bird in the cage. So initially the bird is very unhappy because it was put in a cage, it lost its freedom. But slowly the bird gets adjusted to the cage, and then finally it forgets that it is actually in a cage. So one day the man actually opens the door, but still the bird doesn't recognize it and just stays inside the cage. So I think we can just compare these to ourselves, because either me or you or all of us, we are all like living in a gilded cage because of all these material possessions that we have built over a long time, right? So each bar, let's say it's a golden cage, so each bar is built when you get a new promotion or a new house, or maybe the retirement account, right? So whenever that portfolio grows, so we are building all these bars around us. So we don't know until it's completely built like a wall, and we're all like inside a cage. And all this time the door is still open, but we don't recognize it, right? So if we want to get out of the cage, I think we need to recognize this is not our actual home. To do that, our heart has to be cleansed. So for that, I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends, uses this Shiksashtaka, where he recommends to start the chanting so that we can cleanse our heart and identify our true identity. Because our true identity is to work towards spiritual freedom and also to reach the Godhead eventually. So one question we can have is why we don't recognize we're in a cage all the time? Because we see all around us, we see all the cages glowing brighter maybe and longer than us, and we think that's the normal life. But eventually we forgot like that is not our actual home. And we can raise a question like, is it possible to transform into something so that we can get out of the cage? I think that is shown. We can look at the story of Mrugari hunter who was very merciless like against animals, right? He was enjoying killing the animals, but just by the association of Narada Muni, he completely turns into a non-violent man. He even fears like hurting a small ant. That's the kind of transformation we can observe once we start this practice of chanting or having the association of all the sadhus. So maybe let's leave today with this, at least this thought. We can say like, let's not just chant with the lips, but with a heart that is being cleansed, a mind that is humble, and a soul that is always ready to serve the Supreme Lord.
By Balaji Prabhu. Next is Bhavani Prabhu. Are you going to speak?
No. So we all live in a world of ever-changing goalposts. So let me explain what it is, ever-changing goalposts. So we really work hard to achieve our goals. When we achieve these goals like our wealth, or like our title, or like fame, or even some kind of relationship, we realize that that has been moved some other place. So these ever-changing goalposts will cause us, okay, not to be like unfulfilled and always like stressful. I'm pretty sure all of you have faced this one. For myself, I faced it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sikshashtakam in verse 1, he explained what is the reason behind this. Because we all seek satisfaction through the heart, which is covered with the dust. Let me elaborate this in 3 points. The first point is understand what is the problem. Second is what is the process. The third point is the reveal. The problem is Cheto Darpanam, right? That is the mirror of the heart. Over many lives, so the dust of like ego and material desires, it has like, okay, stayed on that and it accumulated so thick. We completely lost sight of who truly we are. And because of this mirror, which is covered mirror, we started chasing the goals, thinking that fulfilling them will give the satisfaction. Okay? So the next thing is because of this blurred vision, we forgot our true nature and we started committing mistakes. And these mistakes were like causing and accumulating karma. And because of this, we got trapped into the repeated cycle of birth and death. And the most tragedy thing is like the more and more you chase them, this dust becomes more thicker and thicker. The next thing is the process. What's the process? The process is the chanting. Okay, Cheto Darpanamad. So that is the cleaning of that heart. So when the cleaning of that heart, like so you start chanting. It's like a magical cloth. The way the wipes like the foggy mirror. Each round you chant, it's going to like wipe out little bit. So the more and more it gradually going, you realize that you are not I, me, and myself. Okay? Yeah. So once the more and more it becomes more cleaner, we truly understanding the true nature of us, which is Satchidananda, like, because we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Once you started realizing, so the fire of material sufferings gradually started cooling down. Okay, the third phase, what is that? Like the reveal. So when the mirror gets really clean, we see the Ananda. Ananda is the ocean of bliss, which is everlasting bliss. When the mirror is really clean, then you feel the ever moving black was stop moving, because you realize you are never meant for that one. Okay. In conclusion, I want you to remember 3 points. Start chanting, get your mirror clean, and the second point is think that the goal is not outside, it is within all of us in the form of Paramatma. The third one is instead of chasing the ever-moving goalpost, okay, start diving into the ever expanding ocean of bliss and nectar. Hare
Okay. Now Anaisha wants to announce the next person because she's very special to Anaisha.
My mommy has to go next.
I did not prepare, but I think I just want to talk about the favorite verse for the kids. So, in that, I want to zoom in on the quality of man dena, which is respect everyone and without expecting anything in the back. So, there is a story in the glory of Gaura of Jagai Madai. So, 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the most compassionate incarnation of the Lord. Who was born to deliver the sinful souls of Kali Yuga, and his most principal follower was Nityanand Prabhu, who was even more compassionate. So Chaitanya Prabhu was he will give his mercy to anyone who is looking or willing to get liberated. But then Nityanand Prabhu was even steps ahead, who will go and help those who are not even ready, who are sinful. So this story goes in the village of Nadia, wherein Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to go and spread the glories of Krishna. They say go and go in each and every home and say chant Krishna. So they start doing this. And all the pious people were, readily accepting, but the one who do not understand, they were, not taking them seriously or kind of defaming them. Then, while doing these rounds, they came across two brothers who were, in full drunkard state. They were kind of hugging and fighting alternatively. So Nityanand Prabhu watched them for some time, and then he decided to deliver them. Then they go close to them and say, chant Krishna, chant the name of Krishna. And these two brothers, listening to them, they were like in a rage. They came running at them to hurt them. So they started running, and and then they got faded, running their pastimes. While they were going, they said, "Hey Krishna, save us, Govinda." Then similarly, when they were spreading the message of Krishna. Another time in the dark, they were kind of coming, and the two brothers were there, and they recognized these two souls. So they ran towards them, and then the Madhai, the second brother, he actually heard Nityanand Prabhu, and hearing that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and called the Sudarshan Chakra, but then Nityanand Prabhu asked for his mercy. And the end of the story is that ultimately these two souls realized that the God has saved them, and then actually they both were liberated. The conclusion is, if you are in a good company, you offer, you honor, and then help others without expecting anything. But if you are if you are bad, but still you get the good company, eventually you have the potential to be liberated. Hare Krishna.
Okay, next.
The next person is Satya Prabhu.
It's not done.
I'm also special, right?
Yeah. Everyone's special.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Prepared well, but maybe I'll just improvise while going. So the goal of the life to achieve, to get the love of the Krishna. So is it so? I don't know. I don't know that I have to achieve the love of the Krishna. It's just that I have the association. In the association, I got a chance to chant. So in the first verse of the Sikshastakam, if we chant, it will tell us what are all the advantages of that. So with the life of Prahlada, we can easily understand. He keeps chanting Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He gets whatever mentioned in this, like the knowledge and the presence, the Krishna's love in the form of Narsimha. We can see that. And as Prabhu mentioned, like I also want that car, but I go back to my speech where the knowledge, right, with the congregational chanting, Hare Krishna chanting, we get the transcendental knowledge. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Who is that Vidya, that lady? So if I think Krishna as the father, Vedas as the mother, so that mother points us to Krishna. So that is the transcendental knowledge. Understanding Krishna, achieving Krishna is the goal of the life. The means is the chanting Mahamantra. So now, knowing that we have to chant, again, like Prahlada did, he was so humble and he was so tolerant. Like the tolerance, like he has been troubled by his father many times, but he was so tolerant and then continued chanting. So we have to constantly continue chanting, whatever the state we are in. And of course, my hero is Hanuman. He gives the examples, many things, like he keeps chanting Rama's name and he feels the transcendental bliss, ocean of transcendental bliss. We can see him. He just closes eyes and start praying Rama. He feels that energy, and with his presence, we can also feel that. So that is the power of association, the power of chanting. Yeah, and like we have seen the kids like who are like Dhruva achieving the Krishna's blessings. So we don't need to have everything. We can just start chanting, and then we can achieve the end goal of our life. If not in this life, maybe next life or after that. Hare Krishna.
The next person is Venu Gopalji. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, everybody covered all the points which I didn't prepare, but yeah. So I'm also reflecting on that first verse of Sikshastakam. This is very powerful verse from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings, like Sikshastakam verse 1. Here he glorifies the holy name. He tells the glories of the chanting holy name. So it's very powerful, and it gives us a solution in our life. So our mind is like a mirror. Cheto Darpanamarjanam. So our mind and heart is like a mirror. Over the time, it accumulates the dust of with all our desires and all our stress and all our past impressions. So with that, we won't be see the things clearly, like water, and we won't see the things as it is, and we can see ourselves, actual self, not in the body. So we can clearly see the self because of that dust. So in order to clean that dust, so we Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us a solution to chant the holy name. With that, eventually it cleans our dust of the mirror, and we can see the things as it is, and also we can realize and see ourselves. And here, Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapana. So your life is like a forest fire. It's uncontrollable, and it's unexpected. A lot of unexpected things comes in. sometimes we cannot even control the things, some of the things, and so we have so many problems in life comes in. So for to get rid of those problems or to put off that fire, the problems, we can use the holy name. It acts as a cooling rain, and it will put out those fire and heavy. And the third one, Anandamudi Vartanam. So Anandamudi, so here we all search for happiness in the life, in the material life. We all find for some happiness by seeing the material things. But this thing, the happiness is very temporary. You get the happiness from any material thing or any material enjoyment or anything in this material world. It's all temporary. So it won't give permanent happiness, but still we'll be behind finding the happiness. But that is available in the transcendental bliss. So that can be achieved through chanting the holy name. At least daily, if you can chant a few rounds of the holy name, that will get your day starts good, and then throughout the day you can enjoy the vibes, the positive vibes. So here, transcendental bliss, there are many examples as Prabhu's given, like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj and many other people. So if you want to that kind of transcendental bliss, keep chanting, and then which is the solution provided by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Next is Shravan.
Hare Krishna. Who here is feeling anxious or tense right now? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. So, I mean, obviously in this material world, everyone is anxious. Oh, I have a release coming up, or I have exams in another week, or something like that. So obviously in this material world, when we're always bound by all of this material energy, the modes of material nature, everything, we feel anxiety. So this Shikshashtakam is spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's 8 verses. We did only 4 verses, but these first 4 verses, they explain the power of the holy name and how it can get rid of all these anxieties. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, that only when all the cause of this anxiety is because we don't actually associate with ourselves or understand our true identity. That we are actually the part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of God, of Krishna, right? We are a soul. And when we know our true identity as a soul, then we actually become joyful. Why is this? Well, obviously when we start to understand our true position, then we actually know what we have to do. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the first verse of the Shikshashtakam. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Everyone has already explained this, but our heart is just like a mirror. When the mirror has dust, which is accumulated for years, in the purport of 10.11 Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explains that over millions and millions of years and lives, there's 8.4 million species of life, so we have definitely gone through so many different lives in our past. We keep on accumulating more and more dust, which makes us more and more affected by material energy, and we get more and more illusioned by all this material energy. So it gets harder for us to actually understand what to truly do. But now we're all in this circle, and we're extremely fortunate. In the second verse of the Shikshashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that he's because we don't have the true taste for this knowledge and the true taste, we're unfortunate. But at least we have the knowledge of it now. So if we are able to first start, there's always a starting point. In our devotional service, we have to start somewhere. So that is what Krishna is saying, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that automatically Krishna will take care of it. Just surrender unto him. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shuchaha. Just surrender unto me, I will take care of the rest. And you don't have to worry. And we have so many examples, like for example, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had no anxiety in the world. He didn't have any care in the world. His spiritual master Narada Muni, we talked about this even last week for Narasimha Chaturdashi. He had no anxieties in the world. Why? He knew that Krishna would protect him. Tesham evanukam partam ahmad jnana jam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. Krishna says that he will take care of everything. He's the fire of everything, and he will cleanse the heart of all whatever distresses you have, whatever you have. So just surrender to Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj knew that Narasimha would protect him. Therefore, no matter what his father did, he had no anxieties in the world. This is the way to get rid of all anxiety.
Next is Lata Mataji.
No, I didn't sign up.
You didn't sign up?
She already gave a speech, right?
I know,
Yeah.
but I also wanted to add that Vrindavan also is what it is today because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
Add to that. Okay, so thank you. Hare
Next is
Krishna.
Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna everyone. So I will start with a pastime story. So as you know, right, in Puri, Jagannath, right, every year we have a Jagannath Ratha Yatra where basically Jagannath ideal basically pulled in a massive Ratha, right, from the main temple and placed that in the Gundija temple, basically outside the main temple, and the Lord stays there for a few days there. So as the Gundija temple is basically outside, it basically, by the time the God comes there, it fills with dust, dirt, leaves, cobweb and all. So one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there before the Lord comes there. So he brought in a lot of followers and he told everybody, we must clean the temple very cleanly before we bring Lord Jagannath here. And so basically all the followers furiously cleaned up everything. They took out all the dust, dirt, gravel and there. And once they did that one, they completely washed with bringing lots of water with the clay pots and all, making sure the temple is so clean. So after that, basically they felt the air is so pure, so basically the cool, it's very cool and it looks very nice compared to what it was there before. So how does it applies to us, right? So as humans, right? So basically, you can think our heart is like a temple, okay? So how the Gundicha temple basically filled with dirt there. So basically, our heart in this Kali Yuga is basically filled with dirt, okay? So similarly, like how the dirt was cleaned in the temple, basically we need to clean all our materialistic things, whatever greed, anger, lust, all the things whatever are there. Basically we must clean that from us, right? So how do you do that once? Like how basically all the followers, right, while they clean the temple, they basically they chanting the Jagannath name like that. For us in this Kali Yuga, the opportunity is basically through the chanting. So the Hare Krishna chanting, basically, we can able to clean the dirt that is basically built on our hearts, right? And then once everything is cleaned, but basically, the temple is so clean, it looks so fresh like that. Similarly, once you do the Hare Krishna chanting, so what it will do? It will extinguish the fire in our heart, basically extinguishes all the material things that are there, that's accumulated over a period of time, right? And also in Kali Yuga, I think in last class Prabhu mentioned one thing. In Kali Yuga, it is natural to get all the material thoughts, comparisons and all. But how does this chanting helps us? That helps us to control our mind, right? Even if we get thoughts, we should be able to control our mind. So we can able to use this pastime story basically that applies to us in the real world scenarios. Hare Krishna.
Next is Vivek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I think a lot of beautiful things have been covered. I would like to first just start with what is the importance of Shikshashtakam. When I came to Krishna consciousness, and I came to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I was expecting that maybe there will be like a lot of things written by him because he's the one from him whose lineage we are in. But he definitely shared a lot of lessons with Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, but he himself is just attributed for these 8 verses. And then when you just start reading these 8 verses, you realize that this is basically entire Krishna consciousness. There is all the Vedic knowledge, and it's like I was watching this one lecture from His Holiness Rasamrita Das Prabhuji, and it's like we have this Sambandh Gyan there, we have this Prayojan Gyan, and then the Abhideya. Basically, the entire Vedic knowledge is encompassed in that. So it's really amazing, and I want to emphasize that the Shiksha Ashtakam is basically the entire Krishna consciousness. Specifically reflecting on the second verse, Nam Akari Bahuda. And we have already covered that it's basically we don't have the taste. There are like so many beautiful names of the Lord, and then we still don't realize it. There are these 2 stories I'll try to cover briefly, which kind of show the contrast. So first one is basically during the Ramayana, where they wanted to build a bridge, and then obviously Sri Ram asked everybody that okay, build a bridge, and then when he's asking it, he obviously gives the power. So the Lord Hanuman, with all his, he has the belief in him, he has the belief in the name itself, so he just writes the name and the stone starts floating on it. So that's like one example that if you have a belief, how something like that can happen. On the same side, this is not in the Valmiki Ramayana, but in some other Ramayana, Vibhishan, on looking at this, he was like curious, like he wanted to send a message to basically Ravana that he should look at this, like, look at what amazing things are happening. And then he sent basically his 2 servants, and he gave him a chit. He said that okay, don't open this, just go to Lanka and then tell Ravana to come and see this. The servants were like, okay, how are we supposed to cross the ocean? The bridge is still not there. He's like, just go wherever the bridge still is, and then you will see, the magic will happen. They go there, and suddenly, as soon as they are at the end of the bridge, the water parts away. One point I forgot to mention that Vibhishana mentioned them that don't look up, don't open the chip. Just make sure you just go. They went there, and then they were really amazed that the water parted away, and they were like going through, and then somewhere in the middle, their curiosity took over. They still controlled it and still like went a bit ahead, but then still the curiosity, the mind we have, it just took over, and they opened it, and they saw it's like saying Ram, and then as soon as they saw it, they're like, Ram, it's just with the name, this is happening, and then as soon as they had that thought, the water came in, and they were like basically to die. So this is our state. We start questioning. We don't believe in the name, and yeah, that's what I want to emphasize, that we should believe in the name and chant with all our devotion. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else wants to share any speech? Sumitra? No? Any Matajis? No, Mataji, I can prepare for the speech. Yeah, we are all done. Yeah, oh, you want to go?
Impromptu, not prepared, but I'll try. Hare Krishna, everyone. It's amazing to participate in this. So many of you have done such a wonderful job chanting the Shikshashtakam with the right pronunciation, in the right tune, and with the full translation. And I was amazed when Bhavani Mataji did. She is just into the association less than 2 months, and she was almost perfect. So thank you, Mataji. Congratulations, everyone. It was amazing to hear all of you and see how well you guys have prepared, all of you prepared. I will start my speech. It's impromptu. I did not prepare anything, so I will just say as the thoughts are coming to my mind. Whatever I say wrong, please forgive me for that. And whatever I'm able to share good is all by Krishna's mercy. So, Shikshashtakam, I start with the 4th verse, where the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life, especially for devotees, right? We see around us, not in Bay Area, throughout the whole world, everybody is running after different things, right? And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clarifying here, that I don't want na janam, na dhanam, na janam, na sundrim. So he's saying that I do not want any money or followers or even a beautiful wife. So basically he's saying I do not want any material possession. So, and he does not stop there. So what 99% of the people we see in the world are running after, in the rat race, after these material possessions. But that 1% fortunate people go beyond this, but then they are running after material desires, right? That's where he says kavitam. Kavitam is the flowery words of fruitive activities which is explained in the Vedas. He's saying I don't even want that. So out of this 1%, 19% people fall in that. But that 0.1% people, what are they after? They are after about liberation. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clarifies here, that I don't even want that, right? And that reminds me of Indra Prabhu, his prayers and his quote, where he says that, oh Srimati Radharani, my beloved Srimati Radharani, please give me birth in this Vraj Bhumi, millions and billions of the life after life, and even if that has to be as a stool, as a worm in the stool of a pig, that's better than giving me any better position in the Dwarika or as a associate of Lakshmi Devi. Is 2 minutes over? Wow. Did you start with the once I started speech or when I was talking about earlier? Alright. So yeah, so that's what he explains, that I do not want, I mean, I'm okay, and that's the true position of a devotee, that they are not even looking after liberation. And how do we get this goal, or how do we get this purpose of life? How can we be in that state? That is what, to aim for that, to achieve for that, we need to actually be in a very, very humble and tolerant state. And that's what is explained in the verse number 3, that you have to be more humble than even a blade of grass, and you have to be more tolerant than even the trunk of the tree. And how do we become that humble and tolerant? That we become only once our heart is clean, and that is explained in verse number 1. So I try to analyze this verse actually in reverse order, that the purpose of life is clear, then we need to start becoming humble and all. We try to become humble and tolerant. How do we do that? By becoming more, getting our hearts clean and having a full faith in the name of the Lord.
You beautifully summarized everything again, Prabhu. Like, this is the conclusion for our event today.
Not the
Hare Krishna. Chetu darpana marjanam bhava mahadavati nirvapanam Ksairat kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavatu jivanam Anandambudhi vartanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma sapanam param vijayati Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuta Vija Sarva Shaktihi Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Nitadrishi Tavappa Bhagavan Namapi Durdevam Idisham Ihajanyanuragaha Trunadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Nadanam na janam na sundarim Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye Mama janmani janmanishwari Bhavatat bhaktir ahetki tvayi. Thank you.
Anyone wants to go? Any speech or shlokas last time? No? Thank you everyone. It was a wonderful day. Very beautiful speeches. Again, it's going to be one of the memorable day like before. Yeah. Thank you again, and big Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to all of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A big thank you to Madhavi. Gauri Mataji for a lot of time. For sponsoring for the gift. And that will be given next week. The gifts will be given next week. But this is for the participation gifts for the kids. Today we are going to hand over this.
Not today, ma'am.
You're already done deciding? No, right? Take a break. Okay, we are going to give the participation gifts to youth first. Anika. Anish. Arav. Okay, it's not. Yeah, okay. No, take it. Arush. Ansh. Shriyan. Abhi and Ani. Ani. Ani.